we wanted to get your initial reaction. You got a new manager. What do you think of the Pedro Grifol hire?
I'm looking forward to it. Whenever you get a new manager, unfortunately, that means something didn't go right or along those nature. But, I've known him for a little bit. I got a chance to talk to him today. So I'm really looking forward to what he's going to bring to the table, how he's going to lead us, and the things that he's, capable of for this group and making sure that we're better than we were last year.
You reach out to him. He reached out to you. What'd he say?
No, I reached out. It was just more of just a hello. Hey, I know that we've crossed paths over the years and all that good stuff, but I just want to, say hello, and I'm looking forward to everything. And I told him, hey, I know that, a lot of stuff going on, and we'll catch up more as the off season goes on. So, I'm really looking forward to what he can bring. I've heard a lot of good things. A lot of people texting me and calling me today, telling me that I'll enjoy him. And, he brings a lot of energy and a lot of, things that, bring winning baseball to a team. So I'm looking forward to that.
See, that's interesting. We were wondering about that because we hear about this hire and we're immediately like, all right, who do we know in Kansas City? Who do we know that was on those teams? Is that the same kind of thing that happens for you? Like, did you think about what former teammates do I have who played for Pedro? Like, how did that work for you today?
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Whenever you get a new teammate too, it's like, man, who did he play with? Do I know him? How can I, you always try to find as much as you can information wise. So you get a little bit of a backstory on the guy. The one good thing is, who he was managing or who he was bench coaching under the last couple of years. Mike Matheny was my manager for a long time and somebody I really respect. In my time in St. Louis, I had him for, I think, 6 seasons in St. Louis. So I've known him very well, and he speaks very highly of him, especially with the way that he, goes about taking care of his business, working hard and keeping people accountable. So I'm liking what I'm hearing.
Can you give us any specifics on that part of it, like the communication style and the ways in which he can keep a professional athlete accountable?
It's just part of getting to know them, getting to know who they are, what makes them tick, what the things they like, the things they don't like, just kind of what headspace they're in right now. When you know all those things and have that, that personal relationship with a player, then it's easier to, motivate them, get them going, and have some sort of ways that you can push buttons and know where you can go and where you can't go with certain guys. Everybody's different. If you treat everybody the same, you're not going to get the best out of each individual guy. So it sounds like that's something that he's very good at. He's a very good communicator. He's very good at getting to know people on a personal level. And when you're able to do that as a manager, you can figure out what buttons you can push on each guy to make them the best they can be for the club.
That sounds like incredibly valuable stuff, but also specifically what your group needs, doesn't it, Lance? Like it's a really interesting mix of people, and we played the clip there. I know Liam said we need an authoritarian. I mean, what do you think you need? What do you think you need? Somebody who can speak to people different ways. What's the best fit here?
I think that's. I mean, you're in a generation now where we had a 26-man roster, and I mean, there's 26 guys from different parts of the United States, different countries, and all over the thing. You can't have a one-way road here. You got to have an ability to do multiple things, intertwine personalities, put people where they can best succeed on the field, how to make a clubhouse, kind of gel together in certain ways and stuff like that. So I think if you have anything just one set certain way, you're going to lose people or, maybe lose a group or lose somebody here along the way. So the ability to, adapt and be, have a personality where you can relate with certain people or most all people. No one's always going to be best friends, but to be able to have respect and go about the game the right way, play it hard, and respect your teammates and do things that way, you can't beat it.
Lance Lynn with us for another couple of minutes talking about Pedro Grifol as the new White Sox manager. Lance, how much does a manager matter?
Your manager's your leader. They're the ones that are talking to the media every day. They're the ones that are, sending certain messages and things like that. They're the person, the leaders of the team feed off of and do things like that. So I think the big thing is, they're very important in the grand scheme of things. If everybody buys into what they're doing and everybody buys into what they're about, and if they are, obviously keeping people accountable and doing the things that, they're preaching, then it's definitely somebody that, you can follow and you can do the things like that. And I've had some good ones over my time, so I'm really looking forward to what Pedro brings to the table.
It's no secret that some of the best talkers and communicators and hardest workers on this team are pitchers, whether it's you, it's Liam, or it's Lucas. And it's no slight on the position players that there's not necessarily a loud verbal direct communicator, but that sure is a good thing to get from a manager when there might not be that personality among the position players, isn't it?
Well, you look at if you have a manager that maybe can get on a personal level with a few of the guys to help them become that, I think that's the big thing. This group has, especially on the position players side, has gone through a lot. They lost a lot early in their career. They're very talented. They know how to play the game, but the ability to show up day in and day out and play at a high level, you gotta learn that over time. And I think last year for everybody, the whole team, there's a little bit of a the old kick in the area that you don't like with the way things went down last year, not winning the division. So everybody's got a little chip on their shoulder to come back, play better, be healthy, and play the best baseball they can. And then when you get a manager that can has a lot of different ways to go about things, maybe each guy comes in individually and has a different way that they can do things to become the best they can, and then you never know who's going to be that voice or things like that. But you can't just have one either, and that's the beauty of this game with 26 guys. We got to be able to develop more than just a couple, and that's how you have a great team.
Lance, have you noticed in your career, like depending on what guys have been paid or are being paid, that motivation shifts? It would seem to be human nature that would happen with young men finally getting paid or not getting paid yet, that kind of thing.
I think you find it no matter where you're at in your career that it's going to happen or it's not going to happen. It all just depends. There's no one way I could tell you. I've been on teams where a guy got paid young and he was phenomenal person, phenomenal everything, and we have those guys on this team. And I've been on teams where a guy got paid later and they shut it down. That's just the way each guy's wired, and we just got to figure out how to make sure as a whole we're wired to do things together and make sure that everybody's pulling in the right direction. And that right direction is one single thing. Whatever the score is at the end of the night of that individual game, we're ahead. And if we start pulling in that direction, everybody will be fine.
Lance, did you have any input on this hire?
Oh, no. I mean, that's the front office job and all that. You're looking at players and all that. You can want people and do all this and all that, but when it's all said and done, it doesn't matter you individually what you like or something like that. I mean, there's 25 other guys that have different personality and I do that like different things, but I know how I'm going to go about trying to get people out and do those things, and I'm going to be open and willing to listen to any ideas that Pedro and the staff has to help win games, because that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter about me. It's about how I can help the team win every time I get a chance to take them out, and then every time in between starts that I can help somebody out, and that's what it's all about.
We've been told that Ethan Katz and Kurt Hassler are remaining pitching coach and bullpen coach. Have you heard the same? And as our pitching departments kind of separate entities sometimes when a move like this happens.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the same thing, and thvery very well thought of amongst the pitching staff, and everybody loves working with them. They've been great over the course of the 2 years I've been here. So I'm very excited to have them back and get another year with them, because I've come a long way in certain aspects of in this game, and I know a lot of guys have. So you look at guys that have had success on the pitching side, and it's directly correlated to those two guys. So I'm happy that they're getting the opportunity to stay.
Just a couple more minutes, or just another minute or two, really, with Lance Lynn. You talk about like coming back with chip on your shoulder and healthy and working towards all of that. And looking forward is great, but I'm curious. Every athlete says, you got to get away, take a vacation, take some time off. I'm curious, after you decompressed after that season that everybody from Rick Hahn on down to the fan on Twitter said was frustrating and disappointing. Like, as you diagnosed that autopsy of that season, what went wrong?
You know what? There's really no good way to start. For me, it went wrong in spring training when I had to have surgery day one of the season. So, I mean, everything that went wrong felt like it could go wrong. In the grand scheme of things, it was a wasted opportunity for us as a group. We had injuries, we had things of that nature that held us back, that brought us down a little bit. But as a whole, we were talented enough to make a run at the division, and we didn't. So as a whole, it was a lost season. And the older you get, you don't get seasons back. So it's one of those seasons that is sitting on me heavy this off season to make sure that I do everything I can to, first of all, not miss any time and stay healthy for 30 plus starts, but also make sure I do everything I can to get back to the playoffs because no matter what, you run out of time in this game.
Did you see how the Guardians talked about you guys when they celebrated winning the division?
Yeah, I did. I've never been one to worry about another team when I've been celebrating any of our team's accomplishments. So obviously they knew that we were better than them, and they still wanted to talk about it. So that's just the way they feel, and that's part of the beauty of rivalries in baseball, right? Your division wins, and there's people below you, and we were below them this year, and that's what happens.
Circle those games next year.
You never not circle the Guardians games. They're especially in the division rivals. You never want to lose those games. They're a very talented team. They do a lot of good things on all sides of the ball, and they're tough. I mean, they're a tough team. We got to play them better as a whole. That's for sure.
It's good to hear you pissed off. It's nice. You know what I mean? Like,
comes naturally, doesn't it?
Well, but there's a lot of fans that like feel that way, and they want to know that other people are feeling it. That you guys are. It's a missed opportunity. It's a bummer, but that means come back strong and angry.
Yeah, hopefully we're all better for it, and we learn from it, and everybody can move forward and be better, especially next year.